Hello Internet, I am the hero of Julios once again with another One Piece chapter summary. This chapter is 996, The Island of the Strongest. And it's another setup chapter. That's going to be the obvious thing for the next few chapters as we reach closer and closer to chapter 1000. But we're going to start simple, the cover art. It's another fan request. It's Blackbeard brushing his teeth with a hippo. It's good. It's good to see Blackbeard practicing proper dental hygiene. He's, lost the most teeth out of every pirate in One Piece. So it's good to see, he's showing the kids that, even the worst dentally oriented pirate can still brush their teeth and be a good standing upright citizen, as much as Blackbeard can be one. But with that, we're going to go straight into the chapter. Tama did arrive just in time to save Usopp and Nami with, I forget, hang on, I wrote the name, Hihimaru. That's the name of the baboon. That is, he's going to stall them for 3 minutes. And Tama assures Nami and Usopp that they came here as samurai to, help and protect. And seeing how strong the two of those, the lion dog, whose name escapes me right now, and Hihimaru, the two of them were pretty strong. So I could see them holding off for 3 minutes. I'm hoping this is the moment where Tama, Usopp, Nami, they're going to fall back, they're going to regroup, and it's not going to be a trade. It's going to be a regrouping, and then they're going to get back into this fight. It would be nice to see them turn this around and win, especially after Nami's declaration in the last chapter. That's all we get to see on that fight, and I'm going to guess that that's all we're going to see on this fight for the foreseeable future, because I'm going to guess everything is set up until chapter 1000. So after that, we cut to Yamato's fight with Sasaki still going on, and it looks like she's starting to lose because protecting Momonosuke and Shinobu is a little harder than she thought it was going to be because Sasaki's no pushover. He's a member of the Tobi Roppo, and he is about ready to kick it into high gear and actually get in the fight himself, not just his armored division. Fortunately for us, Frankie shows up, and he's got Hacha chasing right after him. And it seems Yamato knows the Straw Hats by bounty, because she flat out recites Frankie's epitaph and his bounty, and she knows who he is. She even tells him, Straw Hat Luffy sent me to protect these two, and Frankie's like, that's good enough for me. Get in there. And so he helps her escape and, turns to fight Sasaki. At the very last minute, Yamato throws her own attack and takes out Hacha in a single blow. So again, showing she's very strong, but it was the amount of battle damage we saw on her that, at least it reminded me, she's only half Kaido, daughter of Kaido, which implies that there's a mother somewhere. If Yamato isn't as durable as Kaido, then I don't know who Yamato is going to fight. Maybe Yamato is going to tag team with... I'll get to it at the end of the chapter, but there's something at the end of the chapter that may correlate to who Yamato is going to end up fighting. I don't know. It's all up in the air until we actually have official who's fighting who mid-battle kind of thing going on, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So after Yamato escapes with Momonosuke and Shinobu, we cut to Trafalgar Law. He's taken out a few enemies, but he seems to be going through the lower parts of Kaido's domain, and he actually comes across a poneglyph. And we see in a little flashback of his that he and Robin actually talked about Trafalgar Law's true name, which is Trafalgar D. Water Law. I'm still not exactly sure why the water part is so important that he has to hide it, but the fact that he confided in Robin that he has the will of D, and Robin told him, you know, if you were looking for answers, I'm sorry. You know, I myself still don't know what is up with that initial. But this is the third D. Well, I guess four, because you got to count Dragon, because Robin was with the Revolutionary Army. So this is the fourth. This is the fourth carrier of the will of D that Robin has spoken to. As we see Trafalgar, he's finally found a new purpose. His original purpose was to get revenge on Doflamingo and avenge Corazon, and you know, his original plan was to die in that fight. Luffy is not a big fan of friends dying, so that didn't really happen. But afterwards, he kind of was just going through the motions. You know, I'm going to help Luffy take down Kaido because that's what I agreed to do, but that really wasn't my intention because I wanted to fight Doflamingo. That was it. But now he seems to have a new purpose. He's going to find out what the will of D is. His goal is to figure out why D is the enemy of the gods, like Corazon told him it was. I'm happy. I'm happy that he's found his own purpose. He's moving on his own path now. So, unfortunately, the poneglyph he finds is not the one he's looking for. He's trying to find Kaido's red poneglyph. So, between the one we got in Zou and the one Brook etched from Big Mom, if Trafalgar Law gets his hands on the red poneglyph of Kaido, that gives us 3. We still don't know where the 4th one is, but my guess is that the 4th one is either in possession of Blackbeard or in possession by Shanks. Either way, it's going to be a long time before we see the 4th red poneglyph, and when we do, it's going to be the end of a chapter, and we're all going to be shocked, and I'm just calling that now because we all know that's how One Piece works. But that's pretty much all we see on Law's side of things. Meanwhile, Eustace Kid, we actually get a cut back and we see him again. He has been going on his own little mini rampage, and he is stealing all of the scrap metal throughout Onigashima. He hasn't like outright taken weapons from like the main area. He seems to just be like running around the hallways with Killer. And he even asks Killer, you know, do you think we got enough? And Killer goes, well, we are fighting Kaido, so we should probably take as much as we can. I'm not exactly sure what their plan is, but I'm going to guess that Kid is going to arrive at the top of Onigashima the same time Luffy does. Speaking of the top of Onigashima, they're losing. Kind of saw that coming. I mean, okay, if they beat Kaido, there would literally be no purpose for Luffy to fight Kaido, but I was hoping maybe like Kinemon at least would be standing by the time Luffy got there. Unfortunately, he's actually the first one we see get taken out. So I'm hoping they at least have enough energy to talk to Luffy when he gets there, but it seems like this is it for the Scabbards. They did their best. They've weakened Kaido, and Luffy is going to team up with all the new generation, and they're going to take Kaido down. So, I'm still looking forward to the Luffy fight, don't get me wrong. I'm just really sad that the samurai have lost. I was kind of hoping they would be a part of the final fight. So, that's just my opinion. But we're going to move on from there as we go back down below. In the middle of all the craziness that's going on with Apu running away from Zoro and Chopper trying to figure out a cure, which, by the way, Chopper is now half frozen. That's not good. But in the middle of it all, Big Mom just shows up. Because as we remember last chapter, she had dashed away from Marco. She just shows up. Everyone stands there for a minute. They're trying to figure out what she's doing. And she's like, oh, don't worry, everybody. I'm not here for you. And she runs past everyone and she says, I'm going where Kaido is. That's not good. I was kind of hoping they'd stay separate, but it seems like this is going to be a tag team. things are getting more and more intense. We're getting closer and closer to the climax of Onigashima. Speaking of heading towards to the top, Luffy, with Jinbei and Sanji as his babysitters, are making their way steadily upwards when Sanji suddenly hears a bunch of voices, as well as, I believe the instrument is a sitar, but or maybe it's called a shamisen. I'm not very musically inclined, so I don't actually know the names of many instruments. But I believe it's the same instrument we saw Black Maria playing a few chapters ago, which collates with, we hear like women giggling and some guy, being like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you," and then we hear the voice saying, "Oh, my lord, you mustn't. No, no, it would be so naughty." And that's like Sanji's trigger word as we get this like close up on Sanji's eyes, and that's where the chapter ends. My guess is Sanji's gonna be like, "Okay, Jinbei, you're doing great, taking care of Luffy. Make sure he doesn't fight anyone. I'm gonna go see what those lovely ladies are talking about," and he's gonna just head off on his own. And I'm hoping it's not like Sanji versus Califo, where it was just like instantly taken out. But if the voice is who I think it is, we may see Sanji interact with Yamato and Momonosuke, where Yamato takes on Black Maria, while Sanji and Momonosuke are Orochi's first opponents. I believe that when Kaido lopped off Orochi's head, being an 8-headed Orochi, because that's the mythical zone-type devil fruit he ate, I think that Orochi still has 7 heads. And because of that, he can still, he's got like basically 7 extra lives. So with that, Orochi's, first death will be at the hand of Kaido. His second death will be at the hand of Momonosuke with the help of Sanji. And then so on and so forth based on the conga line of people who want this man dead. But that is where the chapter ends. That is my prediction, that the voice we heard is Orochi trying to flirt with Black Maria, who, maybe that's what she meant by naughty, is, it's, she's kind of Kaido's girl. At least that's kind of the vibe I was getting off of this. So it may be naughty because she's cheating on Lord Kaido. But anyways, any fact of the matter, I won't know for sure until next chapter, which, by the way, is next week. If I seem a little tired in this video, it's because I've been working an extra job lately and it's kicking my butt. So, but thank you for sticking around this video to the end, and I will see you in next week's chapter. This is the Hero of Julios, Xing out.